moved to New York to become an artist. I know, cliche. Everyone moves to New York to become an artist, or an actor, or a singer, or to find themselves, or whatever. I'm not trying to tell you I was any different than they are, or were, or will be. I moved to New York, and I was going to paint and be famous and become filthy, stinking rich. That was the plan. Not a very good plan, was it? My parents gave me $1,000 a month to live on. Not much in New York City, not much anywhere. It barely covered rent for the tiny apartment I lived in, and the remainder wouldn't really buy me food. I had to find a job, and fast, which is also not very easy in New York City. Not easy anywhere. It would seem that every job applicant was a wide-eyed, struggling artist from a small town in Ohio, with no formal education and a laughable resume. I mean, at least that's who I was. I started out working in a flower shop. I swept the floors. I'm not kidding. Sweeper. Minimum wage. The biggest problem in my mind was food. At home, my mother was always trying out new cuisine and fusing cultures together. There were times where we were forced to try Italian meatball tacos or kung pao cabbage. It's worse than it sounds, believe me. Mostly, we had excellent food, though, with brilliant textures and flavors, and combinations of flavors and textures that were all new and different. So, college food really didn't sound that appealing to me. I mean, I didn't even know macaroni and cheese came in boxes. And apparently, noodles in styrofoam cups, heated to lukewarm in a microwave, counted as an entire meal. It was at this time that I discovered the peanut butter and honey sandwich. Now, the peanut butter and honey sandwich is not your traditional peanut butter sandwich. Most people go with the standard pairing of peanut butter and jelly. That was just a little too normal for me. Plus, honey never goes bad. It's both timeless and incapable of being spoiled. The sweet, sugary consistency of the honey doesn't overwhelm the creaminess of the peanut butter, but it sparkles through with a liquid, golden flavor that you just can't hate. I thought I was brilliant. It was a traditional sandwich I didn't modify and made completely my own. Peanut butter and honey sandwiches. They were cheap, easy to make, and one step above your traditional dorm food. I was taking an art class a few blocks from my apartment. I walked in with a mixture of both excitement and utter terror. I sat down at an easel and started to look at the people around me. They all looked so much older than I was, and I knew they had to be about my same age. They looked mature and focused, and some of them had that look on their faces that so plainly said this class was a joke. The first assignment was to paint a tree. That was all we had to do, paint a tree. Perfect. Simple. I would show the instructor what I could do. So I started painting a tree. But it was more than just a tree. I made the perfect tree. I thought of everything. The roots popping up out of the ground, the sunlight coming through the branches. I even added a pretty good bird to one of the boughs. When I was done, my instructor walked around slowly, examining each painting, not saying a word. When he got to mine, he stopped. He seemed to be standing there during the entire rosary I was saying in my head, praying he would like it. He coughed slightly, looked at me, and said unimpressive. You know, there were days after that class that I wanted to go back home to Ohio more than anything. I wanted to see my parents and sleep in my old room. There averaged more days of homesickness than days of feeling at home. It was on those days that I hated peanut butter and honey sandwiches. I mean, who was I kidding? I put one sweet, sticky substance on top of another sticky, sweet substance, slapped them on 2 lousy pieces of bread, and declared myself a chef. I wasn't a chef. I was a 12-year-old playing house. Sometimes I couldn't even swallow my sandwich. I just left it on a plate and walked away. I couldn't eat, and I couldn't paint. I just kept hearing a cough and the word unimpressive playing in my head over and over again. I sat at my easel in class the next day and didn't look at anyone. The instructor said that for the next few weeks, we would be painting something that we found beautiful. Great! I knew exactly what to do. Not. I was so mad at the end of class, I slammed the door behind me on my way out. I was still steaming when I got back to my apartment. I flopped down on my bed and glared angrily at the ceiling. Beauty, something we found beautiful. I just laid there thinking about it. I must have dozed off at some point because all of a sudden it was time for dinner. I groggily walked to the kitchen and slathered peanut butter on some bread. I almost didn't even add honey. It was an extra step, almost unnecessary. It was then that I looked at the honey and noticed something. It was the color of sand glistening in the sun, the color of sunlight glinting on the water. It looked like a picture of champagne, frozen in time. Then I looked at the peanut butter. The ridges and hills of the creamy spread gave the whole sandwich a swirling effect. When you added the honey, it was like giving water to a thirsty earth, letting the river flow through its mountains. It was pretty clear that at this point, I had totally lost it. There I was, standing in a tiny kitchen in a tiny apartment in the middle of this huge bustling city, staring at 2 slices of bread and thinking about my potential sandwich. It would be beautiful. A peanut butter and honey sandwich would represent something I had made, something I had created. My parents weren't around, so no one was going to do this for me, and I wasn't going to let them. All of a sudden, I was painting a picture of a peanut butter and honey sandwich, finding the perfect light in the dingy kitchen to accentuate my creation. This time, when I went to class, I felt like a moron. I mean, I had painted a picture of a sandwich. I was pretty sure that my instructor was going to have me institutionalized. At the very least, he would kick me out of class. Instead, he came and stood behind me and looked at my painting. As I waited, I decided, I don't care what he thinks. This is my picture of a peanut butter and honey sandwich, and he can't take that away from me. Surprisingly, my instructor looked at me and said, "Good. It's original. I knew you could do this." It took everything I had not to hug him. I practically skipped home after that, but I composed myself. After all, I was in New York City. I was going to become an artist, and the first thing I did was make a peanut butter and honey sandwich. Why not? I figured I deserved one.